Oh god.
Oh my god.
What you're playing instead.
Yo! So it's the editing monkey here. Hi, face reveal I guess. I don't know. I don't have my face anywhere on KCTCG. You have the back of my head all the time though, but I go down and like freaking grab cards. So we're in Ontario, California, Springfest, not Ontario, Canada. Sir, you're not allowed to be recording this.
Sir, we are in Canada.
Fuck over there! That's getting edited out to protect your ass. That was our judge for V format, not for D format. What a snake. So I'm here with KCTCG Team B. So that's gonna be fun. We have Jonathan and Nick. You're consenting to this being on YouTube, by the way. So I'm playing Bastion. Obviously, that's the only thing I ever fucking play. Limas, Jonathan, last name Limas. We call him Limas. Anyways, Limas is our seat B. He's playing, what are you playing again?
Gravidia.
Oh yeah, Gravidia. And then Nick is our seat C. He's playing Seraph Snow. Thank God for Bushiroad not nation locking shit. It's fantastic. I love being the only Keter player on a rank 18. Yeah, so the event is popping. Not really. I mean, I thought there was going to be more people.
You
but...
gotta go outside and look at the line.
Oh, true. LineCon. LineCon.
They're 18.
So for reference, Team B is the only team that has their shit together right now. Team A and C are still waiting for their third member. Yeah, we don't know. I just don't know. But it's the first event back in 2 years, so it's great. It's been like 2 years and 3 months, I think, if you count Worlds. So 2 years and like 4 months if you only count Car Expo, which I came top 8 in for Buddy Fight. LeMayo cries. But it's good to see people again. Saw a lot of familiar faces. The guys from Arizona, really nice. Saw Nexus Core. Oh my god. Yeah. So we're just waiting. What time is it right now, Limas? Huh? What time is it right now?
8:53.
8:53. So we got about another hour before registration ends, and because it's Bushiroad, we might have another hour after that before the tournament actually starts.
If we're lucky.
Best case scenario, tournament starts at 10:30. Worst case scenario, tournament starts at 12. Yeah, 12. So yeah, wish us luck, and I'll keep you guys like updated or some shit. If anything interesting happens, I will, yeah, I don't know, I'll like record it, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's like shit. Like I don't really do vlogs, man. I'm usually the dude editing shit. But yeah. So see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so small update. Team A's team captain isn't here yet. And they have Team C's player C's deck. So they're not here yet. And we just got announced they just gave an announcement by Bushiroad, like telling employees and shit that TLDR, you can't have the embossed side on the black side of your sleeves. So we're switching them because we do be switching because apparently you can mark them, which I think is capped. Like I straight up think it's capped because we play with embossed sleeves for like a while.
Yeah, probably.
And like we've never been able to mark them. Like they're really hard to mark. Matte sleeves I understand, but embossed feels kind of weird. But whatever. But yeah, that's a small update. See you guys later. All right, so we got our first round pairing. What time is it? It's like 10:30, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So event. Yeah, event didn't start. The event didn't start too long after pre-reg. We are table 19. We're playing against team 38. So the goobers are ready. We're good. So we just wait for our team now.
I feel like I'm sitting in Narnia.
yeah, Nick. So like the way they have the tables positioned is like, okay, you fit to a table and then you have like one all the way in like Sweden. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. So. All right, so round one just ended. Well, not ended, but we finished. We died. I lost my game. Limas lost his game, and Nick won his game. How did you win your game, anyways?
Damage gated at 1 against Nirvana. Nirvana. One open damage. What's he gonna do?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yikes.
Damn, man, you dropped the metal.
Bro, it fell. It sucked. Yeah, so I went first against Magnolia. I literally I did my regular Bastion thing. He flipped 4 defensive triggers on that turn, and 2 of them were heals, so there's like nothing I can do. He was like, I'm 40k, and I was like, nice. This Alden's 63, and he's like 65, and he's like, okay, I won't guard it. And then like he just flipped another heal, and I was like, all right, fuck this guy. And then like he goes into Magnolia Elder, and then he just straight up OTs me, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess Vanguard is good. Limas, how did you lose your game?
Drew all of my grade 1 meteors too early.
Yeah, so he bricked. That sucks. It's Swiss though. We're X1 right now. As long as we don't go X3, I guess. I think X2 might make it depending on our tiebreakers. So we'll see. All right. Oh yeah, by the way, the KCTCG won their game. I think they 3-0'd. It was pretty nice, I guess. Ken is playing Zorga, James is playing Nirvana, and Tommy's playing Bastion. It's my Bastion list too. I think he just fared better than I did, so yeah, RNG is RNG.
Hey guys, KCTCG here, Ken speaking. First round of Springfest, won against Bastion. Unfortunate for him, I found double dragon and turn 3 flipped crit OT. What happened in your game? He had two impacts and double inlet turn 3 and then double critted me on the first break.
And how did you win, sir?
I sacked. It's Vanguard.
What was your matchup?
I played against Hexaor. I didn't resolve any Bastion ride line, and then I double crit him when I rode Apex.
Which deck were you playing?
I was playing the turkey.
I love you.
Hey guys, so round 2, Zorga versus Barrow, I won.
Bastion versus Gravidia. I lost to double crit on the
5 meters.
Yeah, 5 meteor turn.
Nirvana versus Snow Seraph, I lost.
Due to double crit?
Double crit.
Hey, look, double.
All right, so update. It's post round 3. We're X2, unfortunately. We lost round 2 to well, I lost to getting bricks. Nick lost to himself. I don't know. You're supposed to count draw triggers. Should have counted triggers. His opponent probably would have swung Vanguard first. There's a Magnolia. Had 3 triggers in a 4-card deck.
Yeah,
probably.
I suck, I get it.
No, you're fine. So that's the reason why we lost round 2. And then round 3 was interesting. Nick lost his game for once. Again. I don't know, that's true. You did lose round 2. And then Limas won his game. He's a sack. He went first, he rode Gravidia, swung with 5 meteors, and then just flipped double trigger, double crit, and like won the game. And then there's me, who I definitely should have lost that game, but over triggers are the most broken card in Vanguard. And eating a 3 crit attack means nothing when you flip your over trigger on your first damage. So, yeah. So we're gonna keep playing, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, maybe enough people will drop and we get into top 8, you know? If we go undefeated for the rest of the tourney. There's 7 rounds apparently, so there's 4 more rounds of just hell and pain. So
Yep.
yeah.
Hey guys, on round 3, Zorga versus Magnolia, I won.
Bastion versus Nirvana. I should have lost, and then I sacked.
Nirvana versus Snow Seraph, yes.
4, Zorga versus Lower Narrow, Zorga won.
Nirvana versus Flagberg won.
Bastion versus Seraph wins.
Bastion versus Zorga, and Zorga won.
Bastion versus Barrow. Bastion wins.
Zorga, and Zorga. So, Zorga.
Damn, dude.
I know, Zorga's fucking insane. Nirvana
You're salty at Magnolia. Ignore the Zorga talk.
I'm gonna build Magnolia, that's what I'm gonna fucking do.
Damn,
Shit.
to lose with it?
Yeah. That's my record, bro.
Down, dude.
All decks.
Down.
And then they can't say they're the worst player. I'm the worst player.
Round 7? 6?
6.
Round 6, and Zorga versus Zorga undefeated against Greedon.
I lost to Bruce.
I'm so sad. Nirvana versus Magnolia, and Nirvana won.
Yeah, he actually won.
Hey guys, round 7, final round. Zorga versus Bastion, and Zorga won.
Surprisingly.
Nirvana versus Lorenello, right?
Cat Girl.
The Cat Girl, 2 to pass, double crit, so 4 crits.
Oh, the classic baby.
And you?
Bastion versus Barrow.
4 crits.
All right, so we're back home. It's the next day, actually. There was a lot of de-stressing and de-tilting that had to be done yesterday, so I didn't record the ending of the day, which is kind of unfortunate. Overall, the team went 4-3. We had a positive record, I guess. I don't know. It's not really positive when you're not top 8. But I think so so just to give a big rundown of what happened at the end, round 4, we actually ended up losing round 4 and going X3 at that point. I lost a die roll against Barrow Magnus. It just happens, I guess. I lost a die roll against Barrow, and then they opened the nuts, so I sat there and I just ate shit. Like, there's nothing I can do. Lima's a big old sack flip OT crit on his first grade 3 ride and just dealt 16 damage. Like, that do be what it do, you know? That do be what it do. He dealt 16 damage to the poor Bastion player on the other side, and now he had to go explain to his wife why he was X4. And then our seat C is actually where there was a big blunder. It was a mirror match, the Seraph Snow mirror match, and what ended up happening was that our CT player had the option to PG. He was at 3, his opponent was at 5. There was no way his opponent was living the next turn, and he had the PG in hand to PG the Seraph Snow, but because his excuse was I wanted the damage, he said no guard and got double crit and died. He could have guarded everything, even if there was a triple crit. He could have been at 5, but even if he didn't have the CB for the next turn, he would still be able to close out the game. But he just decided to no guard the Vanguard and just died, so we lost round 4. So that was very tilting, and we were about to drop that round after that round, but then we received some new life, because round 5 was actually against our KCTCG seat C, which we proceeded to 3-0 clap, mainly because they were our practice partners for the most part. If it wasn't to grief the team, it was to either to just give them the win, but we were gonna have to make them earn it, and we ended up winning that 3-0, and that put our team C at X4, so that was pretty funny. Then round 6 was actually pretty interesting. I think I played against Clarissa. I'm not too sure. As I explained to my friends, he just rode 3 times, swung 3 times, and then he died. I went first in that matchup, so Bastion do Bastion things going first. He did his Clarissa things called nothing, slammed down a rear guard, slams down Vanguard, checks the top 14 cards as always, searches the order, and then on his grade 3 turn, I expected my board to be punched, and he just solo swung, which told me he didn't have the Ernst correct names in hand to do what he wanted to do, but at the same time, he should just slam down a rear guard for pressure, you know? Didn't exactly slam down a rear guard for pressure, or anything like that. So I was at 2. I was like, there's no way you can kill me even with the double crit. So I took the damage. I took 1 damage. Next turn, pushed him to 5. I had to persona ride that turn, because I didn't have Apex Ruler. He was at 5, no defensive. I swung with Alden, which was 45k at the time. And he dropped 7 5k shields from his hand, and with 1 card left in his hand, the last card in his hand being in the order, and so he died. And so the next turn he just drew, swung, I PG'd because I don't want to die to double crit, and then I rode Apex, and he died, which was really interesting. And then Jonathan did the same thing. He rode Gravidia against Orphis, swung, the Orphis player PG'd, and he had already used his 2 CB, and he basically damage choked him and then killed him the next turn for I think 6 damage or something like that. And then I think Nick lost his game. I don't remember what happened there. And then round 7 was really interesting. I lost a die roll against Nirvana, but even if I lost a die roll against Nirvana, you can't do anything about getting over triggered on, especially when you're at 4 and he's on Maher. So he went Maher, he over triggered, he reset the Vanguard, and I was like, okay, I guess you got it. Jonathan ended up playing the mirror match, the Gravidia mirror match, and he won. He knows that matchup better than anybody, because he plays that deck. So he won the mirror match, and then Nick won against a literal 8-year-old child. So hashtag cancel Nick, who was playing Dragonic Overlord, and yeah. So, but really nice guys though that we played against round 7. They were down from Sacramento, and they wanted to bring their kids for first tourney. You know. One of the kid for the first tourney, it was all their first tourney, so yeah, no. But yeah, that was what happened at the end of the day. Nothing really much to write home. You know, we came 28th place. Our team A actually came 10th place and finalized at 9th because somebody failed deck check in top 8. But yeah, it kind of proves to us that, you know, our Bastion list works, because our player A on their team was playing Bastion, the Bastion list that I was playing. He just net decked me, and it worked to great success. Clearly, because they were whatchamacallit. They ended up 9th place, and can confirm that he won most of his games except for one, I believe. Ken, who's their player B, was playing Zorga, I believe. Or player C. I don't remember what seat Ken was, but he was playing Zorga. He went XO all day, so that's pretty funny with Zorga. So you guys have to stay tuned for that. But yeah, So, you know. All right, so I'm not going back day 2, which is today. There's no reason for me to. Premium isn't really my thing, and I'd rather stay away from G Premium as far away as possible. But also the event is pretty bare bones. So here's what happened. I think the event was fun, but not in the way that like, oh, it's the first regional back and blah blah blah. I think the event was fun because of the people that we got to see. I think being able to see faces that we haven't seen in 2 years come down or come out from whatever state they were living in just to play in the regional, and seeing familiar faces, for example, Austin Somers and Nick Bond, who Austin Somers team got 2nd place in the regional, so congrats to them. Nick Bond, Anthony Hernandez, I got to see my friends Miles and Richard from Nexus Core, who I hadn't seen in months because you know, COVID and LA being closed, and you can't really go to locals because we don't have locals anymore. And it was nice seeing faces that we haven't seen since Car Expo 2019, because that was the last event we had here in California. But other than that, I think the event was pretty like bare bones. I did have fun playing in the tournament. If anything, it proved one thing, is that like I'm a god at casual playing, the fucking scrub at competitive play. But that's not the point. The point is that like Bushiroad, for the first event that we had back, I think they could have made it a bigger deal than they did, but they didn't. So they didn't have any side events. There was no side events. It was only the free fight area, the free play area, which was the back half of the venue because none of those tables were full. And then it was the main event, and that was pretty much it. There was no like clan leader challenge or a nation leader challenge for that matter. Like previous events, there was no like because before, like, sometimes they would have like live, like, not performances, but like, or I don't want to say entertainment either. They'd had some pretty cool stuff before, and they definitely didn't. Like I said, they could have made this like a bigger deal than they did, and they kind of just didn't. I think if anything, the attendees made it like a more of a big deal, but it just didn't feel like an actual like event. Just to point out some stuff, like the merch store, I don't have any like pan of the merch store or anything like that, but there was barely little to any Vanguard stuff. The only stuff that they really did have were the Vanguard Zero like acrylic stands, and even then it was just the first wave of them. So Blaster Blade, Dragonic Overlord, Amaterasu, Reindeer, and Ashura Kaiser. And even then, when I got in there, and I got in there pretty early, mind you, they only had one Dragonic Overlord left. They had a couple of like Reindeer and a couple of Amaterasu left, so they didn't bring a lot of stock in for Vanguard in general. But their Y stock and their Bang Dream stock was stocked to the brim, right? Something that I thought was pretty cool that they could have brought, but they didn't. And one of my friends did explain to me that they probably wouldn't have gotten it in time anyways, was the nation shirts that they put up for pre-order in the shop. That would have been something pretty cool. They had like the 6 shirts in different colors of the nation that you wanted. So Keter was yellow, and etc. Monasterio was pink, Stoke was green, etc., etc. But like, they could have brought something like that. But again, my friend did explain to me that like, hey, you know, like, we probably won't have. If we did, we probably wouldn't have gotten in time for the event, which is like understandable. But I feel like they could have brought more Vanguard merch. I didn't see like anything that caught my eye that I was like, oh, I want to buy that. Which was unfortunate, to say the least. And then as always for California California regionals, the shops that they had there were pretty bare bones. There was 2 shops. One of them was only selling sealed product, and the other one was selling white stuff on day 1. Which, where did you find these people? I mean, like, I get it. Like, there's a lot of shops that have been closed, but there's other options that you could have gone through. The shop that sponsors me has like twice the inventory that they had, and we were there. We were trading stuff with people, just like you trying to get trades and stuff. And it's pretty sad when like the players have more inventory than the shops, you know. But yeah. Other than that, like, the event was pretty fun. Like I said, it was seeing old faces and friends that I haven't seen in forever. Was definitely a treat. Like, I wouldn't like change that for the world, but I think Bushiroad could have done a better part on making this regional a bigger deal than they did. I hope the other regionals have a better turnout. Like, I know for D format there was 67 teams. For V format it was 24 teams. but I think that's partially due to the fact that they switched the days, which whatever, I guess. But yeah, I feel like it could have been a better experience overall. Like, I think Bushy Road could have definitely done better for the first regional back. They could have made it a bigger deal. They could have had other like vendors. They could have had other stuff there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Bushy Road. I don't really expect a lot out of them. But yeah, Springfest was fun. 9 out of 10 would probably do it again. It's good seeing regionals back, and I hope we have more. So yeah, catch you guys later. Bye.
Hey guys, Ken here from KCTCG of Team A. Doing a recap of the Springfest 2022 Day 1 event of Vanguard V and Standard. My team participated in Standard. And just from the get-go, security from the convention center were sort of assholes. They only let one line through, and I witnessed some people getting turned away because they brought too many bottles of water. First time I've heard of that, but damn, not being allowed to bring a bottle, like more than one bottle of water, kind of yikes. Second issue I saw was that we were only allowed to play in the tournament if you pre-registered. There were 0 walk-ins. Anyone that walked in expecting that they could play got denied at the door. They pretty much told you stand on the side, wait till all the pre-register walk in, and then you can go into the event venue and sit there. Hey, you can free play all you want, but there's no side events, so free playing is literally just playing with your friends or whoever you come across. Another issue was that there were 0 vendors that sold Vanguard. Everyone there was selling boxes of Weiss, which sure, I understand, but it's a Vanguard day, and I think I only saw one shop that sold EBs, 0 singles. So yikes, if you want to stuff that event, you were kind of screwed. Secondly, venue was big. However, there were only 6-7 teams that played, and the venue itself was only half used. They had another half of the venue that was just barren. Tables were set up, chairs were set up, just no playmats, no table numbers. And yeah, people just kind of sat there wondering why can't they play, because realistically they had so much space, just not enough people to, I guess, judge it. Even though they had ample amount of people working the shop, they had ample amount of people honestly walking up and down, and having a half-filled venue is kind of sad for a Bushy Road event, especially when it's our first time back from COVID. And playing the event, players are cool, meeting new people, meeting old friends, everything was kind of nice. And unfortunately, with the lack of attendees that could play, well, it made a lot of the experience very lackluster. Realistically speaking, this event could have gone better. Paying $10 for parking, I don't mind, but I do mind that it was very, I guess, dragged out, because an issue we had as players, rounds never started, I want to say like 5-10 minutes after pairings were announced per normal. Instead, after everyone sat in their seats, we had to wait until it was a even number for minutes, so like 2:15, 2:10, 2:30, instead of, oh, pairing is posted at 1:22, you have 5 minutes to find your seat, and 5 minutes for the 5 minutes to find your seat, and the round starts immediately. doesn't matter. So we had a lot of downtime just sitting across our opponent, sometimes blindly shuffling the deck, sometimes just making small talk. And some card players don't want to talk. They just want to play their game and get the hell out of there. Some card players want to introduce themselves and make friends, but if the two clash, it just becomes awkward silence because one person wants to talk and one person doesn't. But regardless, we kind of just sat there looking at each other saying, oh, cool, when's the next increment of 5? Oh, it's in 30 seconds. We can probably hope. And if then in 30 seconds it doesn't start, guess we're waiting 5 more minutes. And I understand it makes it easier to keep track of time because, 25-minute rounds. We started at a good number, so we don't need to wonder, like, oh, when does round end? But it also drags out time. Like, a 7-round event that started around 10, I want to say 10:30, 10:45. 7 rounds took us, I think it was like 6-7 hours. And it's kind of long. I'm not gonna lie, there was so much downtime. Per normal, judges kind of hawk-eyed us if we were talking at the table. There were times where, and I understand they're just trying to do their job, they're short-staffed, so they don't want to drag things out even though things were already dragged out as is. But I had judges that literally stood there, watched me and someone else on my team win, immediately take the slip and say, okay, good, you won. I'm going to move on. It kind of sucks for the third game because people want to play in a tournament to play. Yes, you can say tournaments are all about trying to win, but at the same time, it's very rude and disrespectful to players when they're told your match pretty much doesn't matter because there's already a winner. But yeah, other than those bullet points, I had a good time. Personally, I went undefeated with Zorga. The list will be posted or updated soon. The new updated list that I had taken to Springfest. A lot of you in the comments have asked for it. I just didn't give it out because Springfest was coming soon. My team personally, Team A, we went X2. Unfortunately, we bubbled 9th, actually, unfortunately. But hey, it's what it is. We had fun. Our other teams had fun as well. And yeah, I'm hoping that next time the singles event will go much, much smoother. KCTCG signing off.